over the course of this day, sort of struck by this moment, their first chance to sort of absorb the fact that the President of the United States, in this case, their boss, has coronavirus, the First Lady as well. A lot of them trying to come to terms with the circumstances, what it means, not just for the campaign, but what it means for the governance of this country right now. In terms of the cases that we've learned about, of course, you know, the President, the First Lady, and Hope Hicks have tested positive. We learned earlier today that Mike Pence, the Vice President, and the Second Lady, Karen Pence, had tested negative. Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner. We're now learning that the entire Trump family has tested negative. That includes Barron Trump, the 14-year-old son of the First Lady and President Trump, who has also been at the White House, though we are told that all precautions are being taken to make sure that he is safe during this time. We've reached out to the First Lady's office to get any indication whether she will be traveling with her husband today, and have yet to find any further details about that. But just consider this constellation of contacts here as they do the contact tracing right now, Lester, trying to determine just who may have been infected or certainly exposed to this virus. Those who are closest to the president each day, they do get tested daily, but consider the potential for how far this could have spread. Mike Lee, the Republican senator from Utah, who was here this past Saturday for the ceremony celebrating the president's nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court seat. We learned today that he has tested positive. Just yesterday, he was huddling with Senators Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz on Capitol Hill. No indication that either of them has tested positive. At this point, we haven't heard any such thing. But beyond that, you consider the others. We know that there was the president from the University of Notre Dame, who was also at that event. Jack Jenkins, his name, he was inside the Rose Garden during that event as well. He tested positive. He apologized to the students at his university for not wearing a mask at the time, to say nothing of all those who traveled aboard Air Force One this week with the president or with Hope Hicks on Tuesday to the debate, where many members of the Trump family and their guests did not wear masks. A doctor from the Cleveland Clinic even approached them before the debate started, reminding them that it had been mandated, it was required that everybody wear masks there, and that person was quickly turned away. So a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of concern, frankly, to see whether anybody else may have been impacted by that. Among those we know that tested negative, Mark Meadows, the chief of staff, Dan Scavino, the social media director, and many others. But obviously, given the incubation period here, one negative test doesn't mean that you're out of the woods, Lester.
All right, Peter, thank you. Again, we're looking at Marine One on the south lawn of the White House, expecting President Trump to come out shortly to be flown to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda. That's where Kelly O'Donnell is right now. Kelly, what's the scene there?
Well, Lester, we're about 10 miles from the White House, and this will effectively be the president's home base for the next few days as a patient here, as we understand it. And the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center may be familiar to our audience. It has cared for presidents and notable members of the government for 80 years. And in the last decade or so, it combined the Navy facility, the Army facility, and it is now a joint base. So there are members of the military medical corps of all the branches who will be able to take care of the president. It is not your ordinary hospital, certainly. There is a presidential suite that is multiple rooms and offices made available for the president, and that is rarely used, of course. So the president will have his own space with not only a sleeping chamber, but office space for his team and staff, multiple bedrooms, kitchen facilities, things like that that will be separate, that will allow for the care of the president around the clock, and to still have the operation of government. And as